Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to just show some of the scenery along the route that I take a lot of times on a road called South Glen. It's in Kinnelon. I think it's in Kinnelon, where the border of Kinnelon and maybe another town come together. I'm not sure. Not sure where these towns separate, but this is quite a nice road to ride. Now we are definitely in the nicest part of the year for riding. The weather has been perfect. We've actually hit the last week or so some really nice weather. Nice and cool in the morning, just about comfortable while you're riding, and by the time you're getting home you wonder, did I put one too many sweaters on? But it's been great weather. Like, you really can't complain, and the leaves look great and the roads are slippery. Now I want to get the bike prepped up, get out on the open road as soon as possible. You never know how the weather's going to play out, but we'll take whatever we can get right now. There's just no substitute for fall weather. It's never really too hot and it's never really too cold. It always seems just about right. Now I know people they really like to ride in the summer in a t-shirt and stuff. I don't. I like to be all booted up and armored up and have whatever. So for me, the weather right now is just about perfect. And just no substitute for cleaning a bike before every ride. It never really gets that dirty. It's always 1 or 2 minutes to clean the whole thing, and you're good to go. And as always, a fresh coat of chain wax on this. Get us through the next couple rides. I always try to get the bike as clean as possible before any ride. Any ride at all. A clean bike is best. Now I even try to take care of the little details, like putting a drop of penetrating grease on the control levers. Everything on this bike is so nice and tight and smooth right now. I just want to keep it that way. Now what I've been doing is I've been using this little product, Koala, that Michelle had introduced me to. Every day I go out, and believe me, I hate having bugs on a bike. I hate having dirty mirrors. I hate having dirty underwear, everything. I like the hours I spend on a motorcycle, I'd like to be just completely as clean as possible and neat as possible and safe as possible. And this stuff even works good on my prescription glasses, and these are expensive glasses, so I try to take care of them, never scratch them, never get any wear and tear on them. I don't have to, and they are prescription. And that stuff really does work well. And we use it by the TV. I use it on Karen's glasses too, every night. And again, thank you, Michelle. Great tip. And where it really is good, and I mean good, is when you get a bug on, and we're not in the bug season now, but you're still, every ride or so, I get at least one bug. And you take your glove and you go like that, and all of a sudden, what a mess you got. And when you get old, good vision is a safety. It's a good thing. Well, again, this is really good stuff. It really does. It's from Amazon. 3 of these for $8 or $8.95, I think. Now, before we head out on the open road, I wanted to go up into the rafters. A lot of people have never been here, don't know this. But there are literally buckets of parts. These are RD parts. GS parts are over here. And up here there are 2 buckets, actually 3 buckets, of R1 parts. And I'm looking for some parts that I want to bring down to the cellar for our next winter projects. This is pretty cool. There's tires, RD wheels, bodywork for 750s. You think I'm a junk saver? Some RD exhausts here. Just the junk headquarters. If this garage ever collapsed, what a mess it would be. This bucket here is all the molds for making exhaust parts, among other things. I don't know what's in this bucket. Well, I'll tell you, I need a bigger garage. These are basically all R1 spare parts. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. R1 headlight parts. And this is all the parts I have for making that R1 exhaust that I used for 8 years. We have enough parts to make another exhaust, in fact. And when I made the first one, I didn't use the correct resin, the good Huntsman resin, and it didn't last that long, but the Huntsman resin lasted 8 years. There's the spare one I made. So this is what I was looking for. This is the projector beam headlights that come on the R1. Of course, there's two of them. And I was thinking I could adapt this somewhere over the winter into one of our projects. I'm not sure. These are pretty expensive lights, so when I redid the R1, I was made sure I save everything. Anyway, it is pretty cool how this works. It is literally a projector. And these are the headlights that come on an 09 R1. But again, I don't know what I'm going to be using it for, if anything. But now I know where they are, and I know they're in good shape. They're ready to use. Anyway, winter's coming. We need projects. Now, even after all this time, we still have a ton of flowers around. It's amazing. And we still have some vegetables. It just never ends here on Karen's farm. Looks like what we're gonna have tonight is fried green tomatoes. Some of these, they don't ripen right away. I'm not sure why. Okay, all we need now is a final weather check, extra cup of coffee, feed the birds. We'll be good to go. The open road is calling. And I can't wait to see this bike over the winter with those nice shiny wheels. Silver wheels. At the last minute, I checked the weather just to make sure, and they said it's going to be in the high 60s and plenty of leaves in the road. Actually, plenty of leaves in the driveway. Hey, today's video is just a little bit different than what I normally shoot. What I'm going to do, I'm trying to share one of the roads that I really enjoy riding. It's called South Glen. This is it, going up into the development. Now you get here on this road, I'm not sure what number it is, but it does go right to Route 23. And I'm not sure if we're in Kinnelon or Pequannock or what. I don't know where the road starts, where one town begins and one ends. But what you're looking for is this. Oh, it's Kinnelon. That's easy to figure. I never look at the sign. Anyway, and this road up here goes about 5 miles. You have to turn around and come back. It's about a 10-mile cruise, and it's absolutely scenic and beautiful. I'm going to try to stop and take some pictures and show some of the beautiful homes along the way. And just so we don't make a mistake on this, it is definitely South Glen. Because I wanted to show the whole thing, I have to do it in fast forward, but I want to take one pass down the road at a moderate speed just to enjoy the road, of course, and see some of the beautiful curves, the changing leaves, almost no traffic, and not that many potholes left. It's in pretty decent shape. So what I wanted to show separately on this video, this is one end of South Glen to the other. You can see there's a couple of nice straightaways, a couple of nice places you can go through the gears, but then it gets really, elevation changes, a lot of twists. In this case, we're going into the sun here, so it's a little bit of a problem. And you go right to the end. This is just about 5 miles, give or take a little. You can kind of see what the scenery looks like here. It's absolutely beautiful all the way. This time of year, even more beautiful. There's one spot along the way here that there's a real off-camber turn. I think I just passed it. So we had one car, and in 5 miles we had one car. One of the things you got to watch out for here, the landscapers park. Sometimes you're coming around a corner blind, and you don't notice some of the landscapers. So can be a problem. Now you get to the end, it's a turn around and go back. And this is just about as nice as it gets. So some interesting things about this road. You're constantly changing elevation. The pavement is pretty good now. It was really rough over the winter. They fixed some of the potholes. And if you look real close, you'll notice something. There are no lines on the road, so you got to kind of focus on staying in your own lane, because there are cars from time to time coming the other way. Not a lot, but some. Also, I always like to make one pass down the road
just to check that they're not doing anything, any dead animals in the road, or whatever, any unusual law enforcement, and then we can have a nice ride.
So I took my I call it a clearing lap, or familiarize yourself with the track lap, whatever you think. Anyway, didn't look like we had anything unusual going on here, but from time to time there are things. And one time I was shooting pictures, and up the road a bear just walked across the road, totally ignored me, like I wasn't even there. So,
Another thing, I do see a lot of deer on this road from time to time, and I have seen a bear. So I always like to make that ride one time up the road, make sure there's no dead animals in the road.
Now, a really good example of something you can do on this road that I think is worthwhile. When you're going to make a change to the bike, lower the forks, raise the forks, a different suspension setting, I take my screwdriver up there all the time, and I play around with the fork settings and with the shock setting, and it gives you enough choices of smooth roads, bumpy roads, fast turns, slow turns. You can really ring it out a little bit and get feedback.
And what's nice is all the turns are pretty different. There's some nice sweepers, some nice sharp ones, some real smooth, some with some bumps you got to be aware of. But they're all good. This is really, anybody that hasn't ridden this road, I think you'll enjoy it.
Now, one thing really good about this road, if you just put a brand new set of tires on a bike and you want to scuff them in, this is a great place to scuff them in, because you really have a variety of all different speeds of turns, all different radii. There are a couple decreasing radii, and there are a couple that can get you in trouble in a big hurry if you're not paying attention.
And of course the foliage is little by little turning yellow and red and orange. Just makes the ride even nicer. Now, whenever I ride this area, there's always they're all beautiful homes. This is a very exclusive area. But what happens is, I guess, an awful lot of people have high-end cars, and every once in a while somebody sees me taking pictures, and they know, hey, what kind of motorcycle is that? Oh, that's something. And I look, and they're driving some real high-end car. It's pretty cool.
No, I'm not making that up. I have been several times, more than once. I've heard somebody coming down this road, because there's not a lot of traffic and there's no noise at all. And I'd hear somebody going through the gears. They'd come around a corner, see me taking pictures, go, hey, what kind of bike is that? Is that a, they don't know, or maybe they know and they don't want you to know. I don't know. But anyway, and then they let me take pictures of their car and stuff.
Now, there are only a few straight areas on this whole road where you can really go through the gears, but it's just one sweeping turn into a chicane, into another turn. A great area to ride. I'm not sure you could have a nicer day than today to do this, but quite a nice area. I hope you enjoy that. If you get to ride this area, it's very enjoyable. One of the only problems today, there's a lot of wind blowing. Maybe we're going to pick up a lot of that wind noise on the camera. I hope not. Hope I don't have to dub the footage anyway. But the wind is blowing.
It's actually one of the problems I've never been able to solve, and I don't know anybody that's ever figured out a solution. The Canon camera that I use to shoot these still pictures and off-bike pictures, not the GoPro. It picks up wind noise. It's just the most horrible thing. If there's a little wind blowing, you got to edit the footage. It's terrible. And this bike is really fun to ride on this road. This road is almost made for this bike. The way the twists, the turns, the switchbacks, there's almost no straightaways on this. And it really puts the suspension to the test at some of the points where they have patched up the road because it's a high-end area. They patched it up, but I don't think they did a job like a professional job in some spots.
What a beautiful area this is, and if you've never ridden this road, it is really a good one. And it's about 30 miles from my house.
Now, the reason I did this video is several people had asked me after I did the one for Lake Denmark Road. I got a lot of feedback from people, yeah, that's nice, and they've gone out to Lake Denmark Road and enjoyed it. Well, this is a road you can enjoy too, and it's, like I said, it's about 30 miles from my house, right off Route 23, easy to find.
Oh boy, this day has just gotten nicer and nicer. There is not a cloud in the sky. Coming up on the high 60s, maybe even hit the 70s today. What a perfect day to do this video.
Now, I know a lot of motorcyclists, myself included, are always looking for new back roads to ride. Anybody can ride the main highways where there's traffic and people in your field of vision, but finding these really nice back roads where it's enjoyable and actually it's safe to ride. You don't have a lot of cars coming in the other direction. You don't have a lot of, the people texting and not watching what they're doing.
Now, I've enjoyed riding this road so many times. Usually at the end of a video, I'm really tired, but I always have enough energy for one pass up and down this road. It's amazing. It's very draws you in. Once you ride it a few times, you really get into it. I don't know how much nicer than this it ever gets on a motorcycle. What a beautiful day. Weather perfect, beautiful road. And again, on this road, there's just one nice house after another. They're all scenic, they're all manicured, and it's a great place to ride.
Now, one thing I notice is the people that actually live here, and in the summer, of course, some of them are out walking their dogs or mowing grass. When you're riding a bike that's not loud, not objectionable, an awful lot of people, even women pushing baby carriages, will wave to you. When I was riding a loud sport bike on these roads, didn't get that exact response.
And all the curves, every one is different. The sweepers, the switchbacks, and it's not crowded.
Now, once I actually leave South Glen and getting to the end of it, of course, it comes out on the road that connects to 23, and I'm not sure what that is, but then the ride home, is basically a normal day in the saddle.
So the day played out beautifully. Hope you did enjoy that little tour of South Glen. That is some cool little area, and it's well within range for a ride from my house. And one of the things, you can go back and forth over that and treat it like it's a track day if you want. Just make sure you have a quiet motorcycle. I prefer riding that ride with a quiet muffler. Anyway, stands to reason. Anyway, again, hope you did enjoy the video, and thanks for coming over and helping me rake leaves. I appreciate it.
So again, I hope you did enjoy the video, and we do try to post something up every day, motorcycle related. We do try to find new back roads every time we ride. Sometimes the roads are closed and we find things we didn't even expect. But it's always fun. And the whole idea of the video is to share the passion of motorcycling, the enjoyment, the fun, the camaraderie, the beautiful change of seasons that you have in this part of the country. And pretty soon the seasons are going to get cold and wintry, and but we'll be working on projects down in our shop. So, but again, we do try to post something up every day. We try to keep the love of the old two-stroke bikes alive and just ride the wheels off these bikes. So again, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, we'll see you tomorrow.